Chat up. All right, y'all. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Am I ashy on the lips? I probably am. I'm probably ashy on the arms. Ooh, I'm ashy. Oh man, y'all. Okay, so this one is called Perfect Day. Goose Creek. What's one taste smell like? Hold on. I ain't used it in a minute. He's sitting in the bucket over here. Let's see what he smell like. It's all right. What do he smell like? Oh, you gonna tell me? Let's see what Perfect Day say it do. It says warm amber, creamy sandalwood, sugar crystals. Okay. I gotta order that candle then. I like that scent combination will work for me. All right, let's use some more lotion. All right, give it a few minutes, y'all. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I'm gonna talk for a little bit. If somebody come in, I'll chat with you, and if not, I'm gonna say what I gotta say and get off of here. I don't have homework tonight, but I do start a new class tomorrow, and I'm in office tomorrow. Although my doctor is gonna work on putting in a form for me to be work from home. Hey, Fallen Angel, what's up, Wendy? I'm trying to. How you doing? How's my buddy doing on the road? Let me lower this a little bit. There we go. I should probably put my laptop up later where I can read next time. I'm gonna try to be on here Saturday or Sunday. He's still having word salads? I do word salads too now. I was talking to my best friend yesterday. She did word salads throughout our conversation. Getting ready to get my business. What business are you getting ready to do? Oh, if anybody come in, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out if you think it'll help somebody. What business are you getting ready to do? Looking at my ashiness. Okay, LLC, that just tells me that you're becoming a limited liability corporation. What is the business? What's the business? Okay, so you guys are going to try to run a trucking company from the house? Or are you going to go into, because I know some people do that. Some people go into Lyft or Uber, and they get cars and have people drive them for them and then give them a little cut. You doing a single truck? Are you doing a box truck? Or are you doing are you going to do a semi? Doing reefer, okay. Okay, so you're going to do a semi. All right, gotcha. Are you going to do local or all over the U.S. or regional? Now, one of my homeboys, he did, is that mile something out there? Regional, okay. He set up contracts when he was out there as a trucker. I think it's Mile. It's that grocery chain y'all got out there. I forgot the name of it. I want to say Mile something. I can't remember. I'm old now. But they have a couple different warehouse locations out there. I can't remember the name, but he set up a contract with them when he went on or out. He finally just retired. But he just had a heart attack too. And he retired. But he did lose all his weight because he had been a heavy driver for a little bit. And then he did a natural, just lost his weight. But he supposedly did pretty good. He was doing very well, and he moved back here to Arizona. He had several drivers on him, several trucks, and he was up here taking helicopter rides around the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. So he was comfortable, bought himself some property, I think in Tucson. I don't know if he's moved back to the valley. No, he's back here in the valley because he had a heart attack, and he was on Facebook because I know his sister. Okay, hey, yeah, especially if you got a contract, that'll work. Tired of working for them companies, huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I right now, well, physically, being back in trucking is not going to be a thing for me. Transportation in general, I have no desire. I'm trying to decide about keeping my CDL. I may go and just renew it just to have it, because if I ever decided to get I sit here and watch RV shows, but if I ever got an RV, certain RVs, that license helps. Because then I wouldn't have to go do any testing if I got like a fifth wheel or something like that, or a certain size RV. Don't have to worry about it. I just have to go get it licensed, and I'm already, trained in driving those kind of vehicles. So it's a thought. It's a thought. Nothing else going on. I told you when I worked for night, I saw how much that these truck companies get paid. That did it for me. It was like slavery's over. Black people done been through it by no choice. But to go and work for slavery for a choice is insane. And you out there busting your butt and they talk to you crazy. You working all kind of crazy hours. They treat you like dog crap. Equipment they don't maintain. Child buy. And they making this much money per load? No, I'm good. 2 and 2. Peace and peace. I'm good. Ninja necks. Y'all can have that. Sit my fat butt in an office and get paid slave wages to not have to do that. Here in Arizona, we got a doctor I go to, and it's really cheap. I think it's like $60, something like that, if you set the appointment. Yep. Yeah, but or if they do Band-Aid fixes, there's none of that's unusual. Nothing unusual about that. That is what it is. That's the nature of the industry. That is the nature of the industry. Oh, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Lot going on. I started, so I did put in there that I started Ozempic. So y'all gonna watch this journey with me. I'm trying to find it because I was just sharing it with another group of mine. So I don't know if y'all could see this. Let's see if y'all can see this. Hold on. This is the insurance part. So hold on. I'm trying to see. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that price right there. That's the price. This is what I paid. So I might reverse it. I paid $24.99. But the price of Ozempic, the pen, for 3 doses, 1, 2, 3, is $1,176.99. That's crazy as hell. And the coupon for it is $50 and a penny. And I paid $24.99. So to my insurance company, thank you. But I don't even think y'all should have to pay that. I think that company is getting overly too much dang money for that drug. But American medicine is crazy. Anyway, I just started it yesterday. Early this morning, about 6 o'clock this morning. I picked it up yesterday. I was going to take it yesterday, but I started having some stomach issues. And I'm going to get into a colonoscopist doctor. And I just started it. So that's not the cause of the stomach issues yesterday. I ate something. Next thing I know, my stomach hurt. I had to lay down. I took some antacid. But my stomach has been doing some intermittent stuff. So I'm going to get over to the colonoscopy doctor, make sure everything's okay there. The knee, I had x-ray Thursday, mammogram Thursday, went to see my doctor Thursday. So I knocked out like 3 appointments on Thursday. 4 Thursdays from now, I'm gonna try to knock out at least 2 or 3 more appointments. I gotta go meet with the gastro doctor to set up the colonoscopy. Gonna try to set that appointment for that same Thursday. I'll have to do I also did labs Thursday, so I did 4 things on Thursday. So I have to do labs again. They're gonna check where I'm at with the Ozempic to renew the Ozempic. And then once I find out what's going on with the knee, that's gonna dictate whether or not I'm joining this gym. So I got 2 gyms by me. I can either do Planet Fitness or EOS Fitness. If EOS Fitness here in Arizona is 24/7, I'm probably going to go with them because they have a pool and I just want the bikes. And is it closer? They might be equidistant. Planet Fitness and that, they might be equidistant. When I think of the Planet Fitness, been there a minute, but Planet Fitness is 24 hours. And being fat, old, black, and irritable, as an old, cynical black woman, I don't want to be up in the gym with the kids that make me want to hit them with my cane. I'm not going to hit anybody with my cane, but, they're annoying. I don't want to be up in there with the annoying folks. I don't have the energy. So that's going to play a role, but I need to find out what's going on with the knee first because I don't want to do more damage to the knee. When the dude did the x-ray, he wasn't friendly. And I'm saying you got to be my buddy, but there's usually a courtesy when you interact human to human. But I'm finding that more of these people, in a certain generation group and younger, 40s and unders, y'all have issues with communication because y'all so used to this medium and this is your entire life that y'all don't talk to each other, that then you don't even know how to interact with another human being, which is really sad. So oftentimes in interacting with y'all buttholes, or you don't know how to talk to people, or you don't know how to speak, and you don't know how to interact on just a professional level with somebody else. So this guy he looked like he was 40 and under, and he was kind of a dick. The other lady, she might have been closer to my age range, but she was really nice. And then come to find out she's a Christian lady, and her husband's a pastor who did my mammogram. She was cool. She got along great. She's from New York. We had a nice little talk. She was cool. But the X-ray dude, he's kind of a dick. But I was watching some of his facials. So when he went to X-ray my knee, he did this, and that says, "Oh, my knee is jacked." Then he went to the other one and he like clicking, and then he said turn to the side. So I know he took two poses, one with the knee straight on, and then he made me turn with my knee against, I think, the little back thing. And he took pictures of the knee standing. All right. And then he said you can go. So my doctor should hopefully have that sometime coming up this week. And if I'm talking to an orthopedist, I already know where this is possibly going. But that's one of the other reasons for going ahead and starting to deal with the weight loss now, because I know that if knee surgery is talked about, this weight needs to come off. I can't be 400 pounds. It's got to come off. So right now I'm about, what are we in? About 443, and I had eaten lunch when I went in. Sugars are good. My sugars are they're very pretty much handled, but I manage those well, and I keep on track with them. Okay, y'all still there? I hope y'all are still there. Y'all still there? I hope y'all can still. If you in here, let me know y'all still there. Apologies. Linda trying to call me, and she's calling at a bad time. So I'm like doing what I'm doing, and she calls, and then she wants to probably bring some cupcakes. Her sister made cupcakes. She calling at a bad time. Um, I lost track. See, I lost track of my. Okay, good, good. All right. All right, thank you, Wendy. Happy I know, because Linda tried to call me, and she called at a bad time, and I can't take the call while I'm doing this. So she told me her sister made some cupcakes. So sister was bring cupcakes. I don't know about this level. I haven't eaten really. I mean, I nibbled on something to take meds, but I haven't really eaten. And I kind of don't know what I want to eat. Part of me wants to go possibly Chinese food. The other part, I've been wanting some street tacos. So I'm like, I don't know. And then part of me, I was like, well, do I want to go get a salad? Because that's another part that's coming up right now. Do I want to go get a salad? I don't know yet. Um, yeah. So I haven't decided yet what I'm doing. Trying to think right now. Trying to think. She threw my thought off. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I need to get the weight off in order to deal with the knee issues. That's one. And two, I just been feeling really crap. The other thing that has come to mind is because I know my age is coming on, and I have a friend of mine who has a health crisis. And I know that she's, based on her health crisis, she's going to need assistance. Now, she has kids. She has her own children. Her children are most likely going to help her, at least one of them for sure. I don't have any kids. I don't have family to where I've got a family that's gonna help me when I get old. It's me. I got me. I don't have family to rely on me. I rely on. I don't have family to really help me in that way. It's just me. So I know that if I ended up in a health crisis, I'm going to go into a facility. I, after I told y'all my story about my biological mother who's crazy, God forgive me. I forgive her, but she cray cray, and I'm not gonna put she couldn't take care of me now anyway. But I learned a vital lesson from that experience, and that experience taught me I'm good. Go ahead and put me in the assisted living facility. If I'm gonna be treated like crap, I might as well be treated like crap from a stranger than the person that's blood related to me. I'm good. I'm good. And I know that that's possibly where I might end up if I have a major health crisis. Well, at this weight and with this new humans, you're going to be mistreated in there because they aren't going to want to change a diaper. They ain't going to want to pick your big behind up, and you're going to get bed sores, you're going to get infection, and you're going to die horribly. That's just point blank period. Whereas if you're smaller, even though most assisted facilities, some of them are crap, a lot of them, at least, because if I'm thinner, I have maybe a better chance of somebody treating me half but decent, and I'd be movable. So I have to look. I'm looking at all of the big picture of the health stuff if I can get this body down, and then ultimately There's things I feel I'm supposed to do in ministry where right now this weight is prohibiting me from doing it. So, like, if I decided to go into ministry where I traveled around the country in an RV, most of the RVs got small bathrooms. Getting in the doors in the back are small. Um, and even just climbing in and out, because a lot of times you're going to have a stair to lift up. That may be an issue. So, right now, me doing a stair is not going to happen with this knee on the left. Like, this is not going to happen. My knee on the left will throw me the middle finger and say I'm so cool on it. Just getting around this house. Right now in front of me is the rollator, and I have a cane right next to me. So if I need to move a whole bunch, I use a rollator. Sorry, she's trying to call again. If I need to move around, there's a whole, there's issues that happen with that. And so thank you, because it's Linda's trying to call me twice. Linda's somebody, she do stuff when she do it and don't do an advance notice. Like, I would be like, hey girl, I'm gonna call you and say, hey, I'm gonna probably be out about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm gonna give you a time. And Linda's also my CPT person. And so she's like, oh, I'll probably bring them by tomorrow, but tomorrow you didn't give me no time. So instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna be over there about 3 or 4 o'clock, or saying, like, I'm gonna go out and go to the grocery store, she don't give me no time. So I know she said her sister made some cupcakes. She's gonna bring me a cupcake. I don't know. But right now I'm finishing this because it's what I started, and it's what I do. So, yeah. So the Ozempic journey has started. And I love her, but she's so CPT, that baby. And it's just like randomness. So, like, if she will help you with stuff, but you might be 12 o'clock at midnight. And all of a sudden, like, when I wasn't able to walk, because I wasn't able to walk for like 2 weeks, and she's come by to help me. She went and picked up my prescription, and then the next day she was coming to get my groceries, and she's going to stop over at Salad and Go and get me a salad. By the time all of a sudden she called, Salad Go almost closed. I'm like, well, don't even worry about Salad Go. They almost closed. Oh, I thought they was open to midnight. No, you didn't. That's just you, just your CPT. And it's okay. You doing me a favor, so I can't fuss about it. She just, it's just the way the baby operate. And it's just some of your hood. Folks who kind of got some hoodness in them. That's just what way they are. You got to love them where they at. You just got to love where they at and say, oh, well. But her intentions are always good. She's never ill will in any form or fashion. Her intentions are really normally good. Not a sister that you probably want to piss off, though, because she got a little anger streak in her when she be driving. I'm like, ooh, you need to work on that, baby girl. And you're dangerous when you drive. So we'll see how it goes. The first shot was this morning when I woke up to go to the bathroom and I need to get something to drink. My first shot was this morning at about 6 in the morning. So Sundays are going to be, you only take the shot once a week. And Sundays are going to be the shot. Now, what was weird about this $1,176.99 dang drug that I only paid $24.99 for, thank you, insurance. They tell you that every time you do the shot, you're supposed to press to make sure that a drop comes on the needle. This pen has supposedly, based on my dosage, I'm only taking like 0.25, whatever dosage. It's supposed to be only three shots. Why am I wasting the $1,176.99 drug for a drop every time I'm supposed to give myself a shot? I have to see if there's a drop. Then I do a plug-in, and then I press for a new drop. Bruh, something wrong with y'all. No, we're gonna. Yeah, I tested the first time. Talking about after girl, bye. We're gonna take that $25 as far as we can. Every month, because you do it once a month. I mean, once a week. So if you got 3 shots, that's only 3 weeks. So that's $25 a month, and a little bit more than that, because obviously there's 4 weeks in a month. Wasting a shot, maybe a couple. It's crazy as hell. $1,176.99. People cheap like crazy. So y'all will be on this journey. Y'all see what takes place if this weight loss thing happens. I guess the first, and I thought it was insulin-based drug, but I stand corrected. He told me it's a diabetic management drug. It is not insulin. So it's a diabetic type management drug. It's different from insulin, but it does help with diabetes management. And there's 2 forms. I'm on the Ozempic, so there's 2 forms. There's the pill and there's the shots. The pill helps with the management of your diabetes. The shot does two things. It can help with management, but it also is known for the weight loss. The shot is what people are finding the weight loss off of. I didn't go with Wegovy. I told, because he had mentioned Ozempic. Ozempic or Wegovy we first talked about, but my niece at work, she's like, yeah, I've been talking to people, and people are doing the Ozempic. And she met random one guy on the elevator talking about he lost 50 pounds. I don't know how long it took to lose the 50 pounds, but he lost 50 pounds. Exercise is supposed to come into play with it. It's supposed to help with your hunger, help with I think clean you up, because I guess it helps you go to the bathroom too. I've been going to the bathroom okay, but I have also been taking colchicine because of, I think, the arthritic gout flare that I had in the knee. And the knee still has issues beyond that, but it had issues before that anyway, but now the knee is really bad. But we'll see. And like I said, we'll see how things go. Forgive me, y'all. I'm going to see how things go. But yeah, so I'll know more as time goes on as to whether it's right, left, in between, over, and under. I'm a little like, it is what it is. It just, that's kind of how I feel about things right now. It is what it is. And preferably the weight comes off and you guys will be on the journey with me. So that's another reason I'll check in weekly. Y'all can see if the face starts slimming down and stuff starts happening. And like I could probably do exercise on a bike, like a stationary bike, and I'll probably get the pool. I could also do arm exercises. The other thing I'm going to worry about is the 2 hernias. So I need to find, I think it's the belt that you would wear if you're having to lift. And I know there's a belt you can get for fat folks. I got to look up and see what it is. Because you got big men that do it and stuff like that. So I need to go find out what that is and see if I can find one to keep the hernia in. But like he said, to get manageable, and then we start working on it more. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where that goes. Trying to think if there's anything else on that part. That's it. Still, as far as the job too, I was sharing that with my Bible study group. The new position's going okay. There's a part of it that's injury, but I deal with a very little of it, and it's really more with managing bills and stuff coming in. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of that because it's too convoluted. It's like, since I'm really not dealing with all of the medical stuff, it's like, well, what do I keep? How do I file this? It's too much. I would rather just, since I know the property, I wish they just had a department for this group that dealt with just the property, because I see that as, to me, the focus is injury for the group above us, so they don't really care about the property, so some of it is half-heartedly handled. And I understand humans make errors, because I've made errors, but when your focus is not that, you're going to have a lot more errors. So that's where it is. And then I got to see where, because just the one thing the manager has asked me, he's like, where do you want to go next, or what do you want to do? He keeps mentioning what they call a CS role. I don't think I want to do a CS role in this department. I'll see how I'm feeling about things, but just in dealing with the client base, when I get done, I'm exhausted just for the day, because I'm now on the phones more. And I was on the phones a lot in the other group, but I did the claims too, and had a portion of that. Here I only do like 2 hours of it. When I first started the other group, I was phones all the time, which that's fine. I can talk to people. But the client base is all over, from attorneys to medical providers to the customer to the claimant. It's too convoluted. Whereas with the other group, I pretty much dealt with one group, or if it was someone in a certain category, they went to a whole other department. I have to deal with them. And I would prefer that, because when you deal with some attorneys, they're not friendly. When you deal with the providers, it's very convoluted, because like I said, I did healthcare, but they're more like billing groups. I ain't deal with all that drama unless I did claim entry, and again, I really have to talk to them. I did provider services for Aetna, but that was them calling to say, hey, can we bill for this? Can we get authorization for this charge? Or do you guys cover this? Or, that's it. Or did you guys get this claim? That's a whole different can of worms. But here with the auto part, it's really convoluted. So I gotta pray on it, and see what direction I want to go. We'll see. And again, I haven't been there long enough, so this may be jumping to something before you're comfortable with something. And I gotta see. The manager, I do like the manager I have. I do like him. He's knowledgeable. His coaching style is very good. It reminds me of the last lady I had. The first lady I had when I first started there, they had me looking for. She had me looking for another job. I was like, I'm out. I was getting the peace sign. But this guy is much more. He's knowledgeable. At least from what I can tell. Again, I don't know him personally, and this is just first impressions. Um, he seems to be knowledgeable. He seems to be focused like she was on where do you want to go, which I liked. Um, and for now, right now, that's a question they ask. But my thing is like I'm still trying to learn the job, because there's a lot of stuff with this position. Like I said, it has so many different facets in which it goes, and I really think they should bundle things into segments. You should have a CA group that deals with policy with uh, uh, property damage. You should have a CA group that deals with the injury stuff and helps the CS with that. But if and you choose which one of those you want to go in, that works for me. Um, Instead, we're a group that's doing property and little caveats of the injury, which is confusing. And to me, it slows you down because all of a sudden you might be, hey, I got the property down. Then all of a sudden you got something weird with injury. What the hell I do with this? That's sometimes where I look at like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Um, yeah. So that's kind of my thing. So I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, y'all, I don't know what shows y'all watching. And so Silo just ended. If y'all watch Apple TV, Silo just ended. Severance just started, which I love Severance. But I watched a show I did not expect, and I ended up binging it all day Saturday morning. So I fell asleep, and I'm going to go to the bathroom in and out during the night due to diabetes. So I'm peeing in and out all night. That's just the sugars. That's what happens, and the meds. And so I happened to, I think it was about 3, 4 o'clock, maybe about, well, it might have been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And so I kind of dozed off and woke back up and went to the bathroom, came laid back down. I couldn't go right back to sleep. And a show on with Samuel L. Jackson, and I had ignored it, because it just didn't look like something I would be interested in. Yo, that flipping show was so flipping good. It's a series, and it's called Polygamy Gray. And Samuel Jackson, if y'all don't want me to ruin it for you, then, because I'm going to just start off, I ain't going to tell you what happens. But the overall premise is he's an old man who's having dementia or Alzheimer's kick in. There is an experimental treatment that can help him recall his memories. He's old enough that he remembers a man who raised him, who was not his actual father, but I guess his mama died, and this man must have been her boyfriend or something. Because part of it I didn't catch in the beginning because I woke up to it. So I need to go back and watch the very beginning, but I came in to enough to understand the series. And he ends up in and I think they were in Atlanta or Georgia or somewhere like that. And he's living in this little hood area in this brick building. Got a nice little, looks like maybe a condo or a flat or apartment. I don't know what it is, but it was filthy because he's not in good shape. He didn't think well. The woman that he was in love with, she had died, but she was kind of a hoe. Was sleeping all over the place, but he was in love with her, and that's who he stuck with. And he had a lot of childhood traumas from his childhood because the man that did raise him, he saw some white men lynch and burn him. And he also saw those white men because the man kicked a bucket and they caught on fire because they were trying to use kerosene oil. He kicked that bucket and the kerosene oil splashed all over them and a fire, and it caught all them on fire. So all them died. Horrible death. And then he hung, so he watched his friend hang. He watched all these white men die. And but it has to do with money, basically. So some situations happen, but what ends up happening is the relationship between him and the young girl who ends up caretaking for him. And that story has so many, and again, when I watch things have to, because I'm analytical, so things have to really sit for me. I'm not a person, I don't like mindless stuff. Like some people can go just watch mindless stuff. I'm annoyed. I can't just go watch a dumb movie like Dumb and Dumber. I can't I'd be annoyed. I'm annoyed. I don't like stuff that's mindless. That's like the TikTok ban, and it's mindless to me. I can't. You know, a little short to show you something or a quick recipe I get, but some of the stuff on TikTok is just absolutely ridiculous and mindless. And I realize why people, because unfortunately, God forgive me, there's a good group of our population that don't think. They just want quick, mindless stuff. And again, that goes to some generational things that I'm seeing. And just talking to people, I'd be like, and I be squinting. I'd be like, because you be like, do you realize what you're saying don't make no dang sense? I be sitting there, this conversation you're having is very weird. And sometimes I hear it in restaurants. I'd be like, and it's just nonsensical. But I realize there are certain people, and I've learned this, and Wendy, I had talked about this, we all have a portion. And some people have a portion of intelligence that's different from other people's portion of intelligence. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just facts. Because I thought all of us had common sense at a certain level, and I realized, no, not everybody got common sense. As Linda said, common sense ain't common. So a lot of everybody got it. And there's some just, I done talk to people that hit cars and then get out their car and go take a picture of the car they hit. You backed into the car? Yeah. You backed into a whole car? Yeah. And you think that by taking a picture, it's not going to be your fault. You ran into the back of the truck. Yeah, okay. And you said they stopped and you hit the truck because they stopped. Yeah, that's your fault. And I think a police officer is going to tell you driving too close. That's just the rules of the road. So the mindset of people is just different. And when I talk, that's why sometimes I be sitting there. That's some of the property I do mention is those kind of calls. I be like, oh, okay. You talk to people like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's just no logical sense to it. It's you be sitting there like, this is just really not logical. Everything you just said to me don't make no dang sense. But that's the world we live in. It's weird. That is the world we live in, though. And people do some weird stuff, and they think weird. I don't think logical. Their rationale is weird. So yeah. But yeah, so right now I'm just kind of waiting to see. But the polygamy gray, y'all, if you can watch it on Apple TV, you will be very pleased. I was set and watched the whole thing till the end of the series. And it was really, really good. There's a lot of at the end, the young girl is going to be someone he puts over his will and to manage his money, and he's wealthy. I mean, millionaire wealthy. And she at first says, look, I don't want to do that. And she was not anybody that had any ill will, because while he was in his apartment, he brought out a suitcase full of money with like over $50,000 in it. This young girl could have went out and did any old thing. She's like, look, no, we're going to come on down here to the bank and take that to the bank. So she went with him to the bank to open up another account. And he's like, I want her over. And she goes, no, no, no. And the lady at the bank is thinking the little girl is taking advantage. And she don't know about the money yet, because she's talking about open up an account. And he says, I'm going to show you something. And he takes a whole suitcase, put it on a thing with all the $50,000 in there. And he said, so I'm going to help you out, because I already know the look on your face tell me you think that she's here trying to rip me off. He said, but let me tell you, we just brought this from my apartment. So we didn't even have to walk to the bank. To come into the bank to put the money in the bank was her idea. So that's why I'm doing this, because if she wanted to rip me off, she could have done that already. Okay. And this was not his blood. This was not his blood. Now, the person that was his blood that was supposed to be helping raise her was treating her like crap. And treating him like crap. But at the end, the same person with his blood had the nerve to try to dispute his will, or dispute his trust, so that they could get all the money instead of let the girl. And the little girl was given directions on what to give them out each month to help all the family that was left. But no, we want all of it. And so they wasted money in court behind it. And the other thing is, if the little girl didn't do it, the lawyer firm that he had could do it. And it's just, and like I said, it was such a good movie because it truly preached to the character of humans on a lot of levels. it talks about the person getting old with Alzheimer's and the risk to do, and it also talked about pharmaceutical companies trying to get over with experimental drugs. And it was a whole bunch that was in that show that was just, I was like, y'all got me hook, line, and sinker, because it was such a well-written show. Polygamy Gray. Y'all check that out. Believe me, it's very well, and it's on Apple TV. I'm trying to think if I'm watching anything else. I like the new Matlock with, I think it's Kathy Bates. Is that her? I think that's her in there. That's pretty good. I don't know if they put a new episode out. What else am I watching? The Agency. I like that too. That's kind of a spy thing. That's pretty good. I think that's, I'm trying to think if there's anything. The Agency, Polygamy Gray, Silo, Severance just started, Matlock. Those are probably the shows that are on my list right now. The shows on my list. And then I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I've got, I think, 3 or 4 classes left to the bachelor's. So my bachelor's, I will be obtaining, I think, well, I'll be completing my last class like July, August. And then I don't know how quickly they get you your degree over to you. And then I am looking at the master's program. I know I'm doing the master's program if the Lord still gives me breath and capability and mind. I just don't know if I'm doing the master's in theology or if I'm doing the master's in Christian counseling. I will say right now, based on what I'm sensing, I think I'm going Christian counseling. I just see so many people, and also coming from the damage I came from. And I talk to people and meet people in my journey, and people are just damaged, and especially in our society now. Something happened with COVID where I really believe it unleashed something in a lot of us. There's a heavy depression, anxiety. I also believe because of social media and because of how we now have phones and cameras, and I'm not saying we're not to enjoy those things or to use them to learn from them, but they really have too heavy of a presence in our life. And I'm guilty. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I am is on my phone. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, me and Joe, man, I was telling him and Joe immediately before I could even spit out the next segment, counseling is it. I was like, and I've been told that before. I've been told that counseling is it as well. Also, being older, it would be a good transitional thing where I could, as a counselor, an educated counselor, I can counsel from my home and also have it as my little side hustle to Social Security and help people. And I do have that part of me. I see that. And I also, sometimes my heart wants to shake people and say, dude, wake up. Like, I see a lot of things, even in family, especially family drama. I see it in business too, but the family drama, I be like, oh, honey, run, don't walk. I got people right now, love them dearly, love all parties involved. But I want to say, you need to get so-and-so a professional caretaker, and you need to go live your life. Yeah, I try. I mean, and I'm going to say this. And again, I feel I'm led of the Lord, and I try to keep people to me on what I consider a good moral compass and Christian compass. And I'm not saying in any form or fashion I'm perfect. But I believe that the Bible does have a very good, if it's used correctly. Some people are abusing it and trying to lock people in, and also teaching it in an improper way. And I've been guilty, and I've been duped just like everybody else. I was part of the Prosperity Word of Faith group. I'm not any of that anymore. I don't believe in any of that anymore. I mean, I think there's a small portion of what they do, but the Prosperity Word of Faith, and I'm not saying you're not supposed to have faith, but there's stuff that they spew that is just detrimental and not true and twisted. But I do believe that the word can be used to heal people, and it can be used on how we need to deal with people. It's like, I had my aunt's like, oh, you need to forgive your mother. I'm like, I have forgiven her. But forgiveness in the mind is funny, because me and the lady who did my mammogram, she's a pastor's wife. So me and her got to talking, and talking about the Lord. And for whatever reason, it was weird. The conversation went into the realm of abuse and forgiveness. And she's like, yeah, she said, I'll forgive you, but that don't mean I got to sit there and be around you. I said, oh my God, can you say it again? But a lot of people, in a lot of ways in Christianity and other ways, people are teaching forgiveness. Forgiveness means I got to go be back in the house. or be back around this person who's abusing me. Like I said, I've got somebody right now, I want to say, this family member, you love them, and I love the family member, but this baby been there all your life. You need to pick your stuff up and go live your life. And now the person that has wanted you to be there till they die is treating you like crap and doing stuff that's just being buttholish, which is not new. But you need to go live your life. You're not married. You don't have kids. These are desires you have. And nobody's going to normally come up in your family home and marry you in most cases. And especially at a certain age. And unfortunately, that's gone. And even if you don't get married, maybe if you want kids, you adopt, or you do in vitro or whatever, and still have at least a part of something that was your heart's desire. But man, and I see people, well, I love this family member, I love that family member. And also people, what I've also noticed is that people put family members on pedestals who shouldn't be there. Like I sat down at a table with a friend of mine, and he's saying some of the things that he's seeing in himself that he also saw from a brother he just buried. Well, you have some generational curses in your line, and some of the behaviors that you're demonstrating are these behaviors. Because, and let's talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit here to help some folks, and I'm gonna be as we get older. So I'm older now, right? I'm 56. I am now called a senior citizen. I'm an early senior. So 56 is when the grocery stores start giving me discounts, right? So I'm what's known as an early senior. I'm ashy. I'm what's known as an early senior, all right? So this is when they start giving me my little discounts, all of that, right? Let's go here. I'm going to try to go here. For most people, it becomes hard when you're interacting with them. And I'm trying to think on how to best put this, y'all. I'm an early senior. As it becomes hard when you're interacting with us and you become older. I got friends of mine who on Facebook, they putting pictures when they was in high school. They putting posing pictures and trying to feel young again. Some are angry, like the one I talked to. He was sharing things that he was doing that was detrimental. And I've been fat forever. I'm not doing extra. I've already been fat. Okay, I gained a lot of weight in trucking more. I was already fat going in, but I gained about 200 pounds going into trucking, right? So he's talking, now he's doing things that are almost like he's being obstinate. And he's like, he says, and he knows what he's doing is doing that. He's like, I'm eating stuff, I'm doing stuff because he's pissed off. Now, he's not a fat guy, but he has diabetes. So he's doing things that he knows can be detrimental in his situation. And he says, I don't know where this is coming from. And I leaned in and I said, you know who I am, right? Bruh, you know who I am, right? Yeah, well, there is, if you own your truck, you could do it. But a lot of these trucking companies, you don't want their idle, refrigerators, all that. So that's where your healthy stuff goes out. I talked about that in the last video. But when I talked to my friend about his age issues, he's angry. And a lot of people, Grumpy was the same way. Grumpy was pissed off about being old. And to me, there is an embrace with being old. That's good, Wendy. Yep. That's why you're there. And that's good. So you do it yourself. Now you can run your own business. Like I said, I don't see myself ever back in trucking. But if I ever went back in, or I had to go back in, I would want to have to own my own truck. But there's a thing with Grumpy where he got angry. And I see my friend is angry. And there's things too with freedoms. Like my friend, he went and got the fancy car. And now he's driving. I'm riding with him. One time he started falling asleep behind the wheel. I'm like, are you okay? Do you need to come and we need to go get some coffee or something? And he lives further than me. And the thing is because he's aging, one, and B, there's certain things you can't do anymore because it's having an impact on you. It's like, I like certain dairy, but me and dairy, man, I ate a little bit of something with cheese, and I have to do, like, even with the lactate tablets, it's so. So I'm having to go ahead and realize age, and my body is saying, I'm lactose intolerant. It's not going to tolerate a lot of it anymore. And it's basically saying it's cut off. You can either listen to it. That's why I've had to now step back. And I said, we can either walk in wisdom in our aging, or we can walk in foolishness. Foolishness of still trying to be 20, 30 years old and you 50, 60 years old. Like I said, I got a 60-year-old friend of mine. They still trying to be young and all this other stuff. And it's about appearance. And I was like, and I went and saw my 89-year-old aunt, my great aunt, the last living great aunt on Grumpy's side, on his mother's side. I don't know about his father's side. But on his last living great aunt on that side. And I went and saw her, and there was things when I was talking to her, I just kind of was like this. Because she's a very sweet lady. She was her husband, my uncle, she's by marriage. My uncle was my grandmother, Monty's actual uncle. So my grandmother's brother. He actually baptized me. He was a pastor. And when I went to go see her, and I sat there, I'm talking to Aunt Darkest, and I heard, even though she's settled in the old part of who she is, but I heard a lot of people being caught up in the looks and appearance. Yeah, he sure was sharp. He always knew how to dress. That's wonderful. But how was he as a person? And that's the thing. A lot of times it's on this surface level person that you are, but who's the depth of who you are? And I realize there are people who are surface level and there are people who are into depth. I got to have depth. Because I'll be looking at people on the surface level and I really just want you away from me. I don't want surface level stuff. I don't have the energy. And the reason is because that's just a false face. It's not, but there's also people who live their life in that. So they only see the surface level of a situation. So like when he was talking, well, my mom wasn't this way. Your mom was a control freak from hell, dude. I met your mom. She wasn't mean to me. But I watched how she manipulated all her children. That one was a control. And a lot of mothers are like that in general. But he idolized mama like she was perfect. Mama wasn't perfect, bruh. None of us are. Not even you, not even me. Mama had issues. I got issues. Now, there's some people who got deeper seated issues. Deeper seated. But as we get older, we got to accept the getting older. And we got to see the plus in it, and we got to see where we need to make those pivots. You are not 25. You're not 30 where you can be, and granted, there's some people who are older who look good for their age. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But don't live in that. And I get people who are living in that. That's what and if they can't be that, they're very depressed. That's what happened to Grumpy. And one of the things when I worked in the last job, they talk about senior citizen suicide or old people suicide. And basically, they'll kill themselves. And young people's like, oh, old people don't kill themselves. Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do. That's what Grumpy did. How do you do it? Just stop taking all your life-critical drugs. If I stop taking my warfarin, I start taking my metformin, I stop taking my blood pressure medicine, I am setting myself up for an episode. And that episode can take me out. And that's what Grumpy did. I have another friend of mine. That's exactly what her mother did. Her mother was aging. The mother's husband was messing around with a family member. And she found out about it. She got depressed and stopped taking all her life-critical medicine. And she was a severe diabetic. She went into a diabetic coma and died. Boom. Dead as a doorknob. All because she's mad about some ninja who was screwing around on her. And there was other things prior to that I know about the family. And I know about her choices that put both of her children in detrimental situations because you forced your kids around a group of people who did not want anything to do with them because they didn't like the dude. They didn't like the family member that she was married to. But like I said, my biological mother did choices like that too. They choose the male over the safety and best things for their children. I do not necessarily understand the depth of it. The Bible talks about women who are with men or married to men, that their natural affection will be for their husbands. I don't know if that thing that God commanded to go into place, if that is what rules women. And some women, it just kicks in and they will overshadow the dude over their children. I can't tell you. But I see detrimental things that all people are doing, and especially as people are aging. And I love my buddy, but he just shared. He's like, and then that's when we got into the counseling thing. And he says, you were the first one that's been honest with me. I said, I'm already a hard cup of tea. I'm straight up with myself. I don't look in the mirror and don't go, oh, I'm Mongo fat. I'm Mongo fat. I'm obese. I'm not I'm not sitting there trying, and that's why I see these girls out here fat trying to wear stuff that ain't for you. Dude, it ain't for you. Fat. You can't wear that. And I can't, and I'm not gonna force people to go, oh well, you fat. But even if it's health related because of fat, thyroid issues, whatever your issues are, hereditary issues, even if it is, it's not healthy. And there's things now in place. Because I had a friend who had a severe thyroid issue, and her weight, she did the weight loss surgery, actually Nikki's cousin, and she lost the weight. Now she still struggles with some weight issues with it, but she looked a hell of a lot different from when I first saw her. And she was a big girl, like myself. And she went to did the I think she did the full gastric. I don't think she did the sleeve. I think she did the full gastric. Now she had a lot of complications with it, but she lost the weight. Um, but she still, again, her thyroid, she has to watch it. So granted, and now I haven't seen her in forever, but like I said, we choose, even, and as we become older, there is a mindset, and people go into mind shifts. I see for some older people, some become buttholes, like Grumpy. He already had butthole tendencies, but if you have butthole tendencies already, you may become more of a butthole because they become angry about being old because they were so caught up in their youth and appearance, and they didn't want that to change. And that's not reality. You can age like a fine wine, or you can sit there and become a sour grape. It's up to you. For me, I enjoy getting older. I enjoy it for several reasons. So this might be part of the butthole part. I don't like a lot of drama and nonsense. So for those people who are out here, the youngsters in the 40s and unders, and they just buttholes, I'm good. That's why I've gotten to a point now. I have to admit, this is some grumpy things. I really don't want to be bothered. I want to drive into the grocery store, get my groceries, and go home. I don't want to be in the store with the angry people. Like my buddy Joe went in, and he went to go do something for me when I couldn't walk, and he went into the store and grabbed stuff. He go, what the hell happened to Safeway? I said, yeah, there's a bunch of ghetto folks up in there, ain't there? He said, they buttholes. Right. That's why when I order, go park, they bring it to your car, go back home. And as you get older, there's this shift, and for the shift for me is peace. I don't have the time for any of whatever that is. I'm mellow now. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I just want peace. And there's some old people who are angry. Like I went into the store one time, and this old man, he was in a cart, and he's angry because he's old, couldn't get around, and he's in the roller cart, the electric cart, and he cussing and screaming at the people in the store, and just acting a plumb butt fool. And his family members that are with him, they apologizing to folks. You leave him at home, but he's angry because he's old. Then there was another one, a black guy, an older black man, and he talking to the people crazy. They had to call the cops on him, and he's sitting in the store, and he's mad because he's old, and he's lonely, and whatever else is going on in life isn't, and he's sitting there crying through his groceries on the floor, police officers trying to talk to him. You get those kind of old people. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to be neither one of them. But I also have friends who are like that. So I have friends those who are stuck in wanting to be young, and they're doing a lot of stuff, and I'm like, pictures of when they was in high school. You got the older ones who they're angry because they can't be young, or their body ain't doing what it used to do. You just have to pivot. You need to pivot with whatever's going on. I'm not angry. Like my one friend said, when her kids came with the rollator, she's angry. I was like, I'm not angry. She's like, I was angry about it. I'm like, not angry. When I have to get it, I'll get it. If I need a device to help me get around, I get it. That's part of getting older. And it's part of still having mobility until you can't be mobile no more. And that's one of the reasons also for the weight loss. So we all choose the direction we're going to go. And I see a lot of people who choose a different route. So in the fact of getting the counseling, that's maybe something I could speak to, because this is just the natural progression of life. And one of the great aunt who passed of that line that I'm talking about, at her funeral, one of the ministers said, every man is born knowing that one day he will die. It's what you do between birth and death that matters, and getting a relation with the Lord, and then how you process life. And that's the problem, is a lot of people are not realistic in how they process life. And they see through these glasses. I'd be sitting up there like this. So like when I talked to my friend, I said, oh yeah, I know. And he goes, well, Mom was, I said, it's in your line. He for whatever reason does not, And I get it. You know, he idolizes his mama. He loved his mama. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. Maybe his mom wasn't a butthole like mine. She had some issues. I can tell you that. I met her, but still, she she maybe she wasn't cray cray like mine, unfortunately. And I don't mean to be mean. My mother was damaged. So when I say the butthole thing, she was a very damaged woman. Damaged people, damaged. That's just the nature of the beast. And coming to those understandings, and that is actually where you get to true forgiveness, is when you understand that a person with butthole tendencies, or a person who has those tendencies, usually it comes from somewhere. So a person who damages. One of the reasons I'm happy I never had kids. So a person who damages. That is, it's just the nature of the beast, until somebody takes off the glasses and says, oh, wait a minute, I don't want that to operate in my life. But you have to be realistic about it. And a lot of people are not realistic about the stuff that's going on in their life. I'm watching, I don't know if she's put a video up, but there's a young girl. There's another lady who spun off from her, who's a Christian lady, and then she's trying to come into Christianity. But she's dealing with some issues from her childhood. And she's brought on a counselor, and I guess they've had private conversations. And whatever it is severe. But I also could watch the interaction between her and her sister in her podcast. I'm like, oh, you got some major family issues. But until you come to deal with that, and I know she loves her sister, but her sister did some things in a couple podcasts. I'm like, oh, heck to the no. Sister need to go. Until you can come in here and be respectful, and especially with recording this. I mean, there was just some stuff I saw. I think she was playing with her, and they started laughing, and you kind of hit your knees. And her sister, I'm like, oh, such and such, that hurt. And then took her foot and kicked her sister. No. And y'all too old for play hitting. That all that needs to stop. But that tells me some of this functionality of the relationships. And what I saw, I could already tell there's some high dysfunctionality in this family. And you're more successful than your sister. So you also probably have some jealousies. There's a whole bunch going on. And I'm good. So yeah, I see things in a very, very, very different light. At point blank period. I just do. And you can't be in the life that I've been in and go through so I do think counseling is a good field, and it's a good field because I see things, but like I tell some people, I'm a hard medicine. I'm not an easy medicine because I'm not fake with myself. And I be sitting up here be like even when I was talking to my aunt, I was sitting up there like, she's sweet as she want to be, my great aunt. It's like, but and you see through the glasses that make you comfortable, even if they're lies. So you got people who are in families who are sitting at tables with people, and they will, it's amazing. I've talked to people whose mothers were drug addicts, and I'm sure that there's things that happened to them as a child, and they glorify that mama. They do. And like I said, I'm a big fan of the old Keisha Cole show with, I think her mama's name was Frankie, because it really spoke to, and I didn't have that situation, but abuse regardless, and brokenness regardless. It spoke to a broken parent and and what falls down. But I also like the fact that Keisha Cole, it looks like she finally came to, at least I think, and Frankie's dead from what I understand now, but she came to a point of, okay, every time I come to you with something, it's a lie. You gotta start realizing you can't fix damage. And if the person doesn't want to deal with their stuff, baby, lead them over there. If they gonna stay in their buttholeness, lead them over there. And it's like I had to tell Grumpy. I told him shortly before I left Texas, I said, you gonna learn it, you gonna get it, or you gonna get it. Because he was doing a bunch of foolishness. The amount of sugar he was consuming, things he was doing, and he wanted the shot, he wanted the injection, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. We have to make choices. Am I taking a risk with those Ozempic? Yeah, I'm taking a risk, but I'm gonna take a risk if I don't do something. So this is a step. For him, he was still doing a whole bunch of extra. I mean, I'm 400 pounds. I'm borderline diabetic. My sugars are better than his. Even with my issues, and don't get me wrong, I have sweets from time to time, and I do carbs from time to time. Not a heavy carb person anyway. But I just did my A1C, I was 6.8. My buddy, he's usually in 10, 15s up there. Grumpy, he was way up there. 18, 20, more higher. If you did 400 sometimes on stuff. My finger sticks, 80 to 90, which I forgot what that's actually a decent range. My other folks, 100 plus. Mine was like 400 plus at times. We went up to the hospital. They were like, this your blood sugar. And that's why you got a urinary tract infection. And when, like I said, when they put that thing in there and all that goo and blood came out, but again, people choose. And as we get older, some folks, they put their foot in the sand, they clench their toes with 10 toes deep. I ain't moving, I'm going to stay this way. My buddy Joe, his brother's foot was cut off. And next thing you know, the man's dead. Because that man refused. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it my way. Middle finger rolling. Got out after getting the foot cut off. Went out smoking weed and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Didn't they know who he was? Had to be back in the hospital again. Foolishness. But you always cleaning behind the foolishness. And it didn't stop him. So eventually you're either going to get it or you're going to get it. You're going to wake up and you're going to step out and try to do something to get it right. Or you're going to do nothing at all. And you're either going to hit the casket or hit the wall. You're going to stay in the relationship where you're constantly abusing, stay in depression, and stay in craziness. And it's not that you, in some families, you can love people, but maybe you need to distance yourself. And as my father used to say, feed them with a long-handled spoon. Maybe that needs to be a long-handled spoon relationship. Maybe I don't live with mama. I come by and see you every so often, and we get you a caretaker to help you. And somebody else can deal with the butthole behavior. I got an associate of mine right now. And she's an older lady. She's almost 100 years old. She wanted me to help and be the caretaker. Okay? There were things I knew. I knew that she had a massive control freak personality. Sweet person, good-hearted. But I knew as a mother, she was a massive control freak. And I was like, I'm good. I don't want to be put in that position. I'm going to tell you, she has gone through several caretakers in her home. Several. Why? Because I know the personality they're dealing with. But would I want to be one of the children that was there dealing with that on a normal basis? Oh, hell to the no. We're going to hire somebody to get you taken care of. Best thing you can do. Hire somebody to deal with the madness. And that's like when you get old people that are in nursing homes, they want to fight, cuss people out. They're angry because they're old. They're angry because they can't be young. And the thing is, instead of enjoying the wisdom of age, and there is a wisdom that comes with age, there's a mellowness that comes with it. Enjoy age like a good wine. Instead of being angry, instead of being pissed off, enjoy it. And do what you can to be as mobile as you can while you can. And enjoy it. You know, that's what you do with age. And you find prayerfully, maybe some people you enjoy age. I got a neighbor of mine, he used to be a truck driver. And we check on each other from time to time. I need to check on him. We talk across the phone for an hour, 2 hours sometimes about anything from politics to life to health. And, you know, hey, my blood pressure is going up and they're going to put me on this new drug. Bro, shut up. Yeah, you know, I thought I was going to travel. And he said, but man, I don't even want to have time to leave my house. Facts. I need a chair up in here because I'm ready to put my feet up. And I hate recliners, but in the sense of because I saw Grumpy just sleeping it all day. But there's times I need to put my leg up half time anytime. Anyway, to keep the inflammation on the left leg until we get it fixed. But there's that time, that's what I'm like, okay. You know, you have to just accept some things. But also don't become a butthole in it. Don't become a jerk. Don't become a dick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean. Aging is not bad if it's done right. It's bad when it's done wrong. It's bad when you're fighting against it and when whatever is going on in your mind and you can't accept you're getting older. Also, the thing is, if you have a health issue, accept it and do what you need to do for the health issue. I tell stories. I sat and listened to my niece in a story and I was like, oh. And I said, she's angry, you know. She's angry. She's angry because of what her body's doing now. She's angry because of the health issue. And angry people do butthole things. And they do it sometimes to the folks closest to them. And like I said, and also there's some unresolved issues from, I think, the childhood of this individual. And again, but if you need counseling, I don't care if you 80, 60, whatever, go get counseling. Go get some help. And then also, if you can, guys, if you've done some stuff jacked up to somebody, apologize. Apologize. And I'm not saying you can fix it and make it right, but apologize. And that's like, I can forgive you, but you haven't come back and apologized. You know you've done wrong. You haven't come apologize for being abusive. You haven't come back and apologized for the abuse you allowed to happen. You haven't apologized. Matter of fact, you give excuses to the other family members. Oh, I was a different person. Well, that might be true. But you're not really different, because if you knew that you were wrong, then you need to go and handle that. I'm a different person doesn't fix it. It doesn't make it right. That's just a way for you to justify your crap. That's what I said. When we age, we got to age a certain way. And my friend, he said, and I said, when your brother would do X, Y, and Z, you felt he's being belligerent. But now you're doing some of the same stuff. Hey, it's generational. So now, and he's like, I don't understand it. I said, I understand it. You're angry about getting old. Stop being angry about it. Embrace the wisdom of it. Embrace the mellowness of it. Embrace the fact of keeping drama away from you. I'll be up in this house with me and Jesus and be just fine. I don't have to have drama. Y'all want drama, y'all can have it. Everybody can have drama they want. I'm just like, And I listen. But I might need to get paid for them services now. We might go to counseling and get paid for them services. To sit and listen to folks in just massive drama. That's why most of the time, friends, I won't talk to you about friends because it's a drama. I don't deal with my own drama. I mean my own family drama. So I'm not. You're not going to bring all the turds and put them at my door. You're not going to bring the stank into my house. We're not. We're going to have a come to Jesus meeting, and it's either this way, that way, or there's the door. If you get that far, you might not. You most likely won't even get your toenail into the door. I got a security screen door. That might not even get open. I'm just saying. You might not even be within the space to breathe and talk to me. Because if I can't, I won't. I had given Nikki, Trucker Nikki, had some friends, and there's some stuff the lady has with a lot of trauma. I'm like, you don't need to be no part of that. Because I can hear when you're talking about it on that level, it really, and I'm not saying just talking about the generics of it, like I can say, well, hey, this was going on with my friend. I'm talking about talking on it where it gets real deep. There's a point where if they keep with the same cycle, it's okay to listen because friends should listen. But when that cycle is continuous and it's continuous drama, it's the same drama over and over again. Another friend of mine from Compton, California, when I first met her, she has a saying. If you like it, I love it for you. That means you like the madness. Enjoy. You want to be in the madness. Give it all you got. If you like it, I love it for you. In essence, you must like it, because if you didn't like it, you're going to get out of it. The same way I'm shooting myself in the stomach right now with the Ozempic. There's some side effects that could be quite serious with Ozempic. But I'm no longer liking the madness of where I'm at physically. So I have to start doing something about it. And that's what we're doing. It's the same way with your mind. It's the same way with your environment. It's the same way with the people you interact with. It's the same way in your family. You got too much drama. I was like, oh, okay. Let me go and get up out of here. And my friend, he invited me for his one brother who I like is turning 55. And he's disabled. And he invited me and another friend for dinner. I'm not going over there. Why? Because nephew came out with the weed bomb. I'm not. Hey, tell your brother I say happy birthday. I see him. I might give him a hat for his birthday. I'm not coming over there for that. But that's normal in that family. Okay, dude, that's your family drama I'm not willing to do. And I think it's disrespectful to bring that in your uncle's house. I think it's disrespectful to bring it in an older person's house. I think it's disrespectful to bring it in anybody's house. If you want to be in your own house and be smoked up and doped up and whatever the heck you want to do, you. But don't bring it here. And I think that all people have a lot of drama. Anyway, y'all, I am at 60 minutes, so I'm going to get off of here. If y'all watch this later, Wendy, hoping everything works out with the business. If y'all watch this later, I will be on sometime next week. I don't know what other subject, but I also am going to still do the video for the young lady who talked about the is God bored. I still want to deal with that. And I know they just did supposedly the ceasefires. I think Biden is trying to take credit for that. I'm going to be honest, I don't know that I really see credit for that from him. I really think that it's because Trump is coming into office. It might have scared them because they know that Trump ain't all there. And and Trump might give the military to say, go on over there with Israel and help blow up some more stuff. Yes, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And Iranians and Muslims like, yeah, old boy coming into office and he ain't wrapped too tight, so let's shut this down. We just going to agree and let them folks go. And we're going to call this a day. We're going to call it a day. But I'll be honest, Israel ain't done yet. I'm just going to be honest because, yeah, I don't think they done. Because the goal was they wanted to eradicate the group that came over there and interrupt that concert and climb the fence and kill them people. They were like, we want y'all all gone. So, yeah, I don't think they done yet. But I think that group, they like, old boy coming in, it ain't worried about Biden. And Biden is gone. Old boy coming in, old boy wrapped too tight. He might go ahead and say, because he kind of want to be a dictator anyway. U.S. military, y'all going over there and help Israel and just blow up some crap. I don't know, because I think they were like, yeah, we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that right now. We're not ready yet. We still working on our nuclear bombs. We're not ready yet. So, and I'm not wishing that. I'm just kind of, that's how I see it. Prayers for all of them involved. Prayers for the innocent folks all involved. But I'm going to probably talk about a little bit of that in another video in a roundabout way. But yeah, so we'll get that up hopefully here sometime next week. But y'all, I want y'all to be blessed, 2 and 2. And I got to figure out what I'm eating. And then I got to get my bag packed to rent office tomorrow. Although my doctor's getting ready to work on a form, which I need to send in tonight, on where I don't have to go into office because of mobility issues. Because like I got the cane, I got the walker, I got to sit up in the bathroom. I got a special chair here at my desk. I'm ordering another special chair. So just my mobility, it's easier for me to be at home. Anyway, peace, y'all. 2 and 2. Bye, Wendy.